What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. I'm Chris Keefer, behind the GoPro. That's Eddie Larrett. That's Heather. That's Aden. We're here to talk about the KX250, specifically Aden's race bike coming up for the Ironman Combine. This is the KX250 that he raced at Loretta Lynn's that you did well and faded on at the same time. But there are some things on here that I thought would be beneficial for you guys at home owning a 2025 or newer, because the 26 model is the same thing. So if you have a KX250, our guy Eddie here is going to talk about some of the things we do to Aden's race bike. And everything on here is basically you can purchase or you can do yourself at home. So just some tips for you guys out there that I feel like could be beneficial. So I guess we can just start off from the front and work our way back, take our time here. If you guys are asking what Aden runs, obviously I'm influential on the tires that he uses. So I tried to get him on an AT82 for Ironman Combine. He refused, so he's going to stick to a Dunlop MX3S. We are on stock wheels. Honestly, in the world of stock wheels, Yamaha and Kawasaki make really good wheels. They're strong enough. I don't feel like I need to go to an aftermarket wheel set. So we are on stock hubs, stock loops, stock spokes. We'll see if they can hold up. Ironman has some big jumps, Aden.
I don't know. I've never been there, so we'll find out.
So we'll see. Godzilla may make me eat my words. We don't know. But MX3S, that's a great tire. They still make it. So if you guys are wondering, you want some more fun and traction, that is a great tire. We are on a stock disc. We have been a few of these, right?
Yeah. Yep, we have gone through a couple front discs as of late. So for Loretta's, I brought the Lightspeed disc guard. I know it's carbon fiber, but as you can see, it does deflect a lot of rocks. So it has taken some of the abuse off the front of the bike. It helps with the lower fork guard. You know, these bolts here are just aluminum. Cowie sends them out from the factory with aluminum, so these things get beat up pretty easily. So the disc guard covers all this. You can see basically there's a plug that goes, you put an aluminum plug in the axle right there. You can see the threads, and then you remove this bolt and this will just slide in like this. They provide you with a washer, a bolt goes through there, and then you use...
How much is that thing?
These things I think retail for about $129.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's not terrible. I mean, it's half the price of what that disc costs.
And look at, you love carbon, so that's
yeah, for sure. That's one of the main reasons.
And the crowd goes wild for carbon over here.
Love language.
That's Eddie's love language, everybody. It's carbon fiber and titanium.
You're going to see it all over this bike. That's for sure.
Before we move on, these threads are really soft, and I don't know how many times we've actually stripped those things out. So give us some insight on the threads on the Kawasaki.
So yeah, actually it's not just the Kawasaki. All this is a Showa fork, a KYB. I mean, I've stripped them out on your KYB fork. It's a 5 mil, so it's very finicky, so you can't over tighten it. Honestly, like everyone's probably gonna say, well, why do you have those aluminum bolts in there? Just put steel bolts in there and you don't have to worry about it. But I leave those in there because it's a breaking point, right? Like you can't over crank these bolts. You'll strip them out before you over crank those and strip out the fork lug. So ever since Cowie's gone to this aluminum bolt, which has been a few years now on the 450 and now into the 250, we haven't had any issues with stripping fork lugs. So that's why I stay on them. I do replace them quite frequently. I have a big bag of them, so I do replace them pretty often. But this new fork guard design with the flanged washers in there, you can see on this one here, it actually has a built-in flange washer now instead of just these compressed little barrels. Like now we don't have issues with these things stripping and getting all floppy. So this whole new program they've gone to is way better than what they've used in years past.
Okay.
So I actually prefer it. That's why I stay with it.
Something we complain about a lot. We just did this weekend with the help of some knowledge from Kawasaki amateur race team, Eric over there. We went to a stock KX450 front brake line, and the reason is?
So if you have a Cowie 450, you know right away after some time, it'll start separating through here and through here.
Okay.
The cable starts to pull really tight, and then you'll get... this is a bad example.
This is a good one.
I threw the other one away already, but it'll actually start to fold. See how this piece is starting to fold over like that? Because the cable starts to pull up. It gets really short down here. It puts a lot of tension on this, and it'll actually fold it over. then eventually this cable where it's put together, where it's heat shrink together, it pulls apart. So there's two options that I've done. I use electrical tape on everything. Another thing too that you want to keep an eye on, replace this thing as frequently as possible. From it sliding in it, it'll get a sharp edge down here on the bottom, which starts catching this, and then that's what'll start pulling it apart. I learned this weekend from Eric. Another issue with the stock 250 line is when this thing compresses, it actually gets hung up on this banjo bolt.
So
on
when you load your front fork, people, this piece right here will catch on this banjo right here.
So, and you can see it on our stock. You can see it. This is a stock line. See how, so this one was done by Corey at Anchor Tape. He safety wired all these joints together to help them keep pressure and hold it together so it can't split. But if you look, I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the camera, but see how it gets an angle right here, how it's kind of sharp?
Yep.
Well, if you spin it, you'll see right here where it's already starting to catch, because see how far out this is. As this fork travels, this is going to keep going up in this angle. So as it goes back, this comes back here, gets caught on this. Obviously it flips off. It doesn't get stuck up there, but it'll flip it off. But you can already see this one's got marks where it's been stuck already once. So, and you can see on this line is a lot longer than the Cowie 450 line that we're using. So you can see how it has so much more here compared to, see how clean this is? It's not sticking way up in here and out from the number plate.
Yeah, it hugs to the number plate a lot tighter. When we check that, that is actually really nice. It will not get hung up on here. It's a lot cleaner, a lot shorter, and in the long run, it's going to be less maintenance for you guys to handle. So that is actually really nice. We just started doing that, and that is a good upgrade for Aden's bike.
So the next thing that I like to do is these stock 2 bolts here do not have much of a flange on them. So when this brake cable gets all this loading going on it, when it starts slipping, it'll actually pull through here. These 2 bearings are not flanged on it, they're just recessed in there.
Right.
So eventually it'll get so much tension on it. You can already see this one's bent over. It was done before Corey got to it.
See how it's wide.
See how it's creased and it's laid over. So Corey fixed all that, and that's why it's, you know, it's working fine now. But these bolts will actually pull through here. We had it happen in California while Aden was riding.
Yep.
That is very dangerous when this brake line starts getting close to this wheel.
Okay.
I mean, that's an instant over the bars. So I actually use one of the Yamaha 450, one of these shroud bolts right here. See how it has a bigger flange built on it? So we actually use those on here now. See how big the flange is? So it cannot pull through.
It won't suck it through.
Nope. It'll just bend the plastic over as much as it needs to if it's going to fail. Eric kind of told us that this was the fix. We shouldn't have any problems with it. So I stuck with those bolts because I don't want to try it or challenge it. But that's kind of the 2 things that... this was one of the things I actually I asked Eric this weekend. I'm like, all right, man. I'm tired of doing front brake lines. What's the fix here? And that's when he told me to go with this Cowie 450. It's actually considered the Brembo setup because Cowie 450 runs a Brembo master cylinder. And
all right. So if you guys have a KX250 and you're tired of that line slapping around, KX450 line, there you go. A couple things as well. It's a great start this weekend at Ironman. We have a Works Connection Pro Launch device, the best start device, I think, in my personal opinion, in the business. We are set to 150 millimeters low. We are probably about 140 for Loretta, so we're going to go down a little bit more and give Aden some less wheeling off the gate because it's 100% traction off of a grate. But if you guys are just doing dirt starts, I recommend 130 mil is probably plenty enough for dirt starts for you guys out there. Works Connection, Eric and the guys recommend max of 110, but that's a safety feature for the fork guard. But for me, honestly, I've had 0 problems using this start device at 140 to 150 several times, so it shouldn't rip anything out of your fork guard. And just FYI, guys, I do recommend OEM fork guards. Aftermarket, a Cherubies, Polysport, whatever. They're a little bit softer, a little bit thinner, a little bit more flexible, and you have more chances of failures when you do set a low start device. So going to an OEM plastic fork guard is best. That's my opinion. Take it or leave it.
And they're not that expensive.
Right.
They're not that much more expensive than if you wur to buy the kit.
Decal Works is doing, of course, Aden and I graphics. They ghosted Aden Zing's number inside the 47. Aden's one of the best guys you can ever meet, and we're just kind of honoring him as long as we can because we really love Aden. So AZ39 ghosted in the 47. Pro Circuit, Luke and the boys are doing Aden suspension. We do go back and forth between REP and Pro Circuit. As you can see, we have Mark's stuff over on this. And actually, Aden really does like this stuff. We're actually just trying to make our own damn decision on which way to go. And we've been doing that out here for a couple weeks in Georgia. So as of right now, this stuff is on Aden's race bike, and that is what we're running currently at Ironman. Renthal 839 bars. We have an arc front brake lever. Aden, you can come over here and talk about this really quick. And then we have a Works Connection throttle tube. Really quick, these cables suck from Kawasaki. You're gonna have to go through cables. If your throttle starts getting hard, no matter what you do, greasing, cleaning, and your throttle still seems hard, replace your throttle cables. We did that for Aden Loretta's and it made a huge difference. So I would say max 10 to 15 hours you're gonna get out of those cables before it starts getting really hard. Again, 839 bar, stock mounts. Tell us about your lever setup, Aden, because you prefer a stock clutch lever over the arc.
Yeah, so I just prefer a stock clutch lever. I feel like I get more feel out of it. With the arc clutch lever, I feel like it's very vague.
And what he means by vague, people, so the release and the action of the lever itself, when you have the arc on the KX250 at least, I feel like there's not enough pop. It's just the leverage ratio just feels really flat. So when you go back to a stock lever, you have a little bit more on-off feeling, which this bike, in your case, needs.
Yes, exactly.
And then the front brake, you prefer an arc.
Front brake, I prefer an arc just because, you know, if you ride a Kawasaki or you just put your finger on the front brake on the stock lever, feels like a butter knife is right here, right in the pocket.
So the blade is pretty thin and sharp on the stock lever.
Yeah.
This is a little bit fatter.
A little bit fatter, but it's still skinny at the same time. I don't have the biggest fingers, so I feel like this just fits me better. And I feel like I get a really good feel out of it as well.
Okay. Moving on back, I'm sure. Again, graphics. We're using VP Pro 6 fuel in Aden's bike. Practice bike, he runs T4 fuel. We have a twin air power flow kit inside of the airbox. If you're looking for a little bit of a larger footprint for the filter as well as more airflow, the twin air kit is one of the best kits out there. We did try a Williams Motorworks filter kit, which we did like, but it ended up tearing the filters a little bit too much on the edges. So we've had a relationship with twin air as well. So we decided to go with PowerFlow because PowerFlow wasn't available yet for the 25 and Williams was. So we tried that, and that is a cheaper option for you guys. But for us, we're sticking with the twin air PowerFlow as we like that. Again, anchor tape. Corey does a great job with grip tape. You might just think, hey, it's grip tape, whatever. He makes it to where this stuff lasts as long as you can. Grip tape is not meant to last, 10 hours. It's meant for a few rides and it starts to tear off, but they do last long. And then when you go to pull it off, it doesn't leave all that nasty shit off. So if you are gonna pull your grip tape off, make sure you rip it off when it's hot, AKA as soon as you're done riding on the stand, just tear it off. It's easy to get off. This is the work of Eddie. This is not me, okay? You don't need an ignition cover. You don't need it. I said we don't need it. Aden hasn't done anything yet. But you chose to get an ignition cover for simply looks. That's it.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
Moto hose, same thing. Don't need it. Just want it.
Yeah, moto hose actually serves a little bit of a purpose though, because it gets rid of, you won't be able to see it because it's behind the shroud here, but even down here it gets rid of the Y pieces. Okay. So it's a molded piece one, so it gets rid of a plastic junction piece right there where you have a potential failure. So that is one good part about the moto hose, especially like on the KX4. The KX450 is most important because KX450s has things everywhere. You know, they have the head spigot, then it goes up a little piece, and then it has the temp sensor in there. It gets rid of all that. You actually get a piece that goes on the head, kind of like the Yamaha one. It's kind of like this one. They kind of take it back to the older style for the Cowie, where your water pump goes in here and then your temp sensor is part of this flange that goes into your head. So instead of having this piece and then this piece is up here and another plastic or a metal aluminum piece up in the hose, it gets rid of all those more hose clamps. So the 450 is more of a benefit than the 250 one, but these are blue. So that's
you guys saw the video from Jamie at Twisted. We did evolve Aden's engine package a little bit, but Jamie at Twisted does do Aden's engines. Of course, we always try to put good rods in the KX250s because we've had problems with that in the past. We are running stock valves, correct?
Yes.
Stock valves. We have different seats.
Yes.
The valve seats are, do we know?
Brilliant copper, probably, if I had to guess.
So copper seats and a different piston. We are on a stock cam.
Yep.
So no, just higher compression piston. So not a lot done. We do have a tumble transmission, but other than that, it's not too built. I think we're going to try a cam here for